Good morning. This is our second week of our message series called Confessions of a Control Freak. It's only partially autobiographical. But yes, if we look at it, probably all of us have a little bit of control freak within us to some degree. And how do you know if you're a control freak? That if you add things to your to-do list just so you can enjoy crossing them off, you may be a control freak. If you count the number of items in other people's grocery baskets in the express lane at the grocery store, you may be a control freak. If all your shirts and jackets in your closet have to face the same direction, you may be a control freak. If you number your hangers to keep track of what you wear every day, to make sure you don't wear the same outfits within established and intentional intervals, you might be a control freak. And if you don't do that, but you're thinking, wow, that's a really great idea, then you're definitely a control freak. Today we're going to look at giving up control. Surrendering our idea of success or greatness. Some of us like to have a good time all the time. Others just want peace and to be left alone. Some want fame and fortune. Others want family and friends to love them. Simple or complicated, there's nothing wrong with how we're cut as individuals. We're not criticizing anyone here. I mention it to point out that the success and greatness of the world outside these doors is different than the success or greatness that we strive towards as Catholics. That in the gospel we hear about two brothers today, James and John, and they come to Jesus with a request, or almost like a demand. Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you. Wow, it's kind of a not-so-Christian way of asking a question there, especially considering that Jesus had just said that he was going to suffer and to die on the cross. Imagine he was probably a little disappointed with the timing of their question or their demand. So they say to Jesus, when you're large and in charge, we want the seats of honor right next to you. When you take power, we want to be your two top cabinet officials. I think when Jesus heard this, probably smiled at the incongruity between their ask and what he was all about, and what he was about to do. He says, do you not know what you're asking? Can you drink the cup that I am to drink, or be baptized with the baptism with which I am baptized? So what exactly does that mean? He's talking about being subjected to complete and total suffering as an act of complete and total service. He's saying that they're going to have to serve as he serves. They say, we can do that, but be careful what you wish for, because Jesus does assure them that they will drink the cup and be baptized or plunged into the experience of his suffering. The rest of the apostles got mad at James and John. They were grumbling against them. And probably they were also a little bit jealous because maybe they wanted the same thing. Jesus knew exactly what was going on. He heard the grumblings. He knew the discord that was happening amongst the apostles at the time. So he gathers them together and he says, those who are recognized as rulers over the Gentiles, lord it over them. Their great ones make their authority over them felt. That was normal for that time in history. Power and authority meant you got to tell people what to do, and you don't have to do anything. It's not just that historical time period either, that there are plenty of people today who exercise power and authority in exactly the same way. So the apostles were probably nodding their heads in agreement. Yes, that's exactly what we want. But Jesus came to institute a kingdom that is completely and totally different from the kingdoms of this world. Then he drops the bomb on them. He says, "But it shall not be so among you. Rather, whoever wishes to be great among you will be your servant. Whoever wishes to be first among you will be slave of all." Jesus doesn't criticize the apostles for wanting to be great or to be successful. Every one of us should want to be great, and you are great. But you have greatness within you. But the greatness he shares comes from serving. It comes from making a contribution to others. Instead of what we can get, the calculation for Jesus is all about what we can give. Why? Because for the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many. Service is a big way that we can grow in our image of Christ, to be a disciple of Christ. Don't let that be lost on you. That we do have many ministries here at St. Peter. You can get involved and to get your serve on. But encourage you this week to take a look at the parish website and to look at the many ministries that we have offered here in our parish. That all of us have been given a unique talent by God. A unique talent, a strength, something that we like to do, something that we're good at. And that's usually the starting point of what sort of ministry you should be involved in. Because when we minister out of our strengths, something that already we enjoy, something that already we like and that we're good at. And to be able to use those strengths or those gifts, those unique talents to serve others. As Christ followers, we should aspire to greatness. And it turns out that it is achievable. It's actually simple. Perhaps not easy, but very, very simple. And one of the best ways to achieve greatness in Christianity is through service.